Hello and welcome to another edition of the Women Magazine. I am Edna Musu, sitting in for Fatmata Simaha. And today in the Women Magazine, we have the Youth Ambassadors of Peace who are here to talk to the Women Magazine about what they do and some of the activities that they engage in. But before we go any further, I will allow them to introduce themselves, starting from my far right.
Good evening, beautiful listeners. My name is Penda Gay, a member of Youth Ambassadors of Peace. Thank you.
Good evening, viewers. My name is Lamin M. Sanye, a member of the Youth Ambassadors of Peace.
Good evening to you all. I am Aminata LBCC, honorary member of the Youth Ambassadors of Peace.
Assalamu alaikum. My own name is Fabakari Kale, Executive Secretary, Youth Ambassadors of Peace.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you.
First of all, we'll start with the President of the Youth Ambassadors of Peace to tell us more about their association.
Thank you so much, Edna. The Youth Ambassadors of Peace is a civil society organization that is formed in the Gambia on the 17th day of May 2001. The organization was formed based on the perception that the whole generation of young people have scars on their minds. And the source of these scars are multifaceted. There are different causes, ranging from wounds of armed conflict, genocide, political wars, religious, and a host of other conflicts. But we are again convinced that young people organization can and are also willing to take a very strong stand in lifting the society from the troubled past into a future where peace and development are at the center. Since the formation of the organization, we've embarked on lots of activities and series of programs. But the objectives of the organization are four. We have four main objectives. One is to cultivate in the minds of people the spirit of serving oneself and the other, the love for humanity and to strive for their welfare. And also to promote the peaceful coexistence of all, and also to promote the Congress of Peace and the tolerance of peace within the minds of the people, and also to develop the leadership and creative potentials of young people while ensuring their maximum participation in national and international development. Looking at history, let's say from West Africa, we've realized for the past 2 decades or so, there has been series of violence conflict, and we the young people have been taking some very important stands, or some very strong stands in each of these conflicts. Because the atrocities that are committed have been committed by we the young people. Those that take the gun to lead the war front are actually the young people, though we have elders that are standing behind us, giving us the support. We feel we are the fuel to all this fire, but if there has to be water, it is with the young people. So that is why we formed this organization with the sole aim of talking to young people, let them know that the position in which they are occupied is not that's not their position. They have a better position than that. We have some very important roles in society that we must take for us to move as a continent. That is why we formed the organization. And since inception, we've embarked on a series of activities. And it includes training young people for them to be socially responsible. Because we believe most of the young people are going into conflict because of they lack the responsibility that they need. They have a role in society, but they themselves don't know what those responsibilities are. So we take it upon ourselves to talk to them, to educate them, so that they can be empowered and also know their position and know what their capabilities are as members of the society, because we are all part of that big system. We should not be left out and leave only the elderly or whatsoever to take the lead. We should have we should be an integral part of everything that is happening within our society. That is basically why we formed the organization. Yeah.
So can any of you tell us the activities you're engaged in?
Okay, thank you. As Lamin has put it, there are perceptions that we hold, and we hold a firm belief that we're working on. And it's our conviction that unless the people are tolerant to each other, unless the people are gender aware, unless the people understand the culture of peace, that they can live a life where they reject anything that deals with violence, in whatever form it may be, and accept anything that works with non-violence, that promote respect for oneself and the other, that promote respect for oneself and one's culture, that promote respect for oneself and the environment. Anything that deals with that cohort of peace is what we're working on. Now what we're doing currently is we're working on 4 main programs. One of the programs we work on is called Peace Education. The objective of peace education is to empower young people to be socially responsible and to provide them with alternative choices in dealing with violence. Now, sometimes that becomes a technical word when we say socially responsible. What do we mean? We want people to be socially responsible. That means every individual have a responsibility in society. That's why we are not living like animals, other animals. We live in a society. When we were born, we had our faculties that we cannot use. But society will develop that for us. So that those that are born in Jolakunda or somewhere around that will live as Jolas and have a Jola life, whatever that may be. Those who are born in Fulakunda will be Fulas, whatever they be. Even if you are a Jola, but you are born within the Fulas, you get the Fula life. So society develops you. They prepare you for something, and that you need to give back. So we, as an organization, try to build that up. We've realized currently, around us, a lot of things goes around violence. If I do wrong at home, I'm beaten. If I fight on the street, whether I beat the guy or the guy beats me, I'm still beaten at home. If I do wrong at school, I'm beaten. If I do wrong anywhere, I'm beaten. So what do I learn? Responding to anything that does not go with what I like is to fight back.
Violence, yeah.
So I am being taught violence. When I watch movies at home, violent movies, I am being taught violence. So we learn that attitude. So peace education wants to teach you to learn the other part. That's to forgive, to be prepared. So that's one aspect that we do by preparing people. We also do a program that is called Value for Life. In this we focus on 2 aspects. One, HIV/AIDS, discrimination, because where HIV/AIDS is said to come from is if human nature have any factory, that's the factory. And when there are trouble there, people are born on the earth with diseases, so they become not that responsible people. And then the second part of it is what we refer to as gender-based violence. We discuss it under Value for Life. We look at gender-based violence not from the security perspective, which means when people do wrong, you take them to court, you do all that. No. We look at the issues that create that violence and teach young people how to avoid it. Key among them is sensitivity. How are you sensitive to the nature of the other person? Because if you are not, you cannot tolerate him or her. How are you so about your own emotion that it will not lead you to create violence against somebody else? Maybe at this level I would say, for us, violence means anything that a human being does in response to a conflicting situation and intend to harm or actually harms or attempt to harm somebody.